Hey guys, Mr. Thibodeau here. So let's go ahead and get our last assignment for the week done, lesson 38, interpreting graphs. So, mental math, problem solving, new concepts. Shouldn't be too difficult. When you're doing our graphs, we're looking at a number of different things. Here, each tire represents 100, so this is 400, 600, and then 5,500. Okay, so 550. Over here, we have a bar graph. It tells us the number of aluminum cans collected by each homeroom. Here, 12, 14, 16, 18, those are just the room numbers, okay? They may as well be names. They could be anything. It's a little confusing that they're numbers in this particular, but they are, so that's all right. When we're looking at it, the most information is right here, okay? Now, we're guessing that this is about 5,000. That one is pretty clearly 8,000. We're guessing that's about 9,000. And over here, that's 4,000, okay? Truly significant amount of aluminum cans collected. But, yeah, so as we're looking through this, it should be relatively easy to answer. We're going to do a project with this in class at some point too, because these graphs can be easily manipulated, and I really want you guys to be aware about that, okay? So here, it starts at 1,600, and that's what that little line right here means, okay? That right here indicates that it skipped some. The artist or whoever is making it realized that since there wasn't any data until 1,600, writing and the data from there was just small little differences, that going ahead and writing everything lower than 1,600 was going to be a waste of time. It would just be a huge blank space that wouldn't have any information on it. So they skipped to get to 1,600, okay? That's an important part to see because sometimes you'll see those skips in weird places. Over here, we have a pie graph, okay? So the full 100% is the whole pie. Then you break it up 12 hours, which is half of your time, 24 hours, right? So 12 hours at home, 8 hours at school, 4 hours elsewhere in various places, probably travel, okay? A lot of these graphs can be used for various things. I don't think there's any really significantly difficult things here. I think you'll be just fine. You're able to see both of these graphs say the exact same thing, but they are able to show them in slightly different ways, okay? Over here, again, this is graphs that show the exact same thing. This graph is zoomed out, right? But since we don't care, all of this is even, this here is a zoomed in of just the, oh, you can't see that. This top one is zoomed in of this one so that you can see the differences much more, okay? Sometimes people will do something like this and they'll, there's that little skip right there. Sometimes they'll use that skip to make you think that there's a huge difference. Something really big has happened. But really the difference is 5 inches of rainfall. Now, 5 inches of rainfall is pretty significant, but sometimes they'll use it for things that aren't very significant. And they'll make you think there's been a huge change, when really the change is only by 1 or 2 numbers, okay? So pay very close attention to these skips and things like that, okay? Sometimes they're used as a way to manipulate the reader. Over here, we see the same information again, this time as a bar graph, okay? But this time as a line graph. The line graph, in my opinion, shows and better trajectory of his height. It's only going to go up for the most part. And so it shows that he is steadily gaining height. Okay. I think you should be fine with this stuff. I want to go ahead and go into the written practice. Let's go ahead and do 1 through 7, and then 17 through 26. Okay, and that'll be your work for today. All right, guys, have a good one.